some zombies to start off the new year.
I'd like to join the body retrieval unit.
And why not? We Bury the Dead is in theaters now. It stars Daisy Ridley searching for her missing husband in a zombie apocalypse setting. She told me the film takes a far more human approach to the topic.
And I think that would be a lovely thing for people to take from it, if we could all be a little more human and honestly give each other a little more grace, a little more space.
We'll have more from Daisy this week.
I'm not ready to let go.
And neither are we. The documentary One Last Adventure, the making of Stranger Things 5, hits Netflix January 12th. For CBS Entertainment, I'm Matt Wolf.
Hey, it's CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner Jill Schlesinger. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome into a Thursday edition of Rutherford Issues here from WGNS. We are happy that you have joined us here on this Thursday. Lots of conversation is headed your way. State Representative Mike Sparks will join. We're going to talk about what's coming up in the new session. It won't be that far down the road, will it? So we're going to talk about that and much more here on the show today. We are coming to you from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. January mornings may be a little nippier out there sometimes. You never know what kind of weather you're going to get in January, but our homes stay warm or comfortable. You may need a little air, but they're staying comfortable for what's ahead. There are some cold temperatures still ahead, so we've got that to think about and deal with here in the near future. We've got more rain and storms, but that just shows you how volatile January can be, but can always count on that home to be comfortable because of Middle Tennessee Electric. Keeping homes cozy and charged for 2026. MTE. How about our salutes first? We've got to spend a little time on the weather this morning with some new developments in terms of what to plan for are ahead. So Abby Sailing is today's Good Neighbor of the Day from SRM Concrete. Our SRM Concrete Good Neighbor for being a friend you can always count on. Abby Sailing today, the recipient of flowers from Jenny Harrison and our friends at Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts on South Academy Street and WGNS Radio. So our congrats to Abby Sailing for being our Good Neighbor of the Day today. Thank you to the person who sent that in. We appreciate it. That's how this works. And how do you get those to us? Well, you can text NEIGHBOR to 615-893-1450. Or just head to wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor. Those are the two ways you can get in a good neighbor to us. And looking for some for next week. So hit us up. Let us know who you'd like to have as good neighbor of the day. And today's SRM Concrete Good Neighbor brought to you by, guess who? SRM Concrete, locally grown, nationally known, and honoring the neighbors who build up Rutherford County with their kindness and service. To get a good neighbor to us, text NEIGHBOR to 615-893-1450, wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor. That's it. It's that easy. I promise. Birthday club. Melissa Harrell happens to be our birthday club winner today. So happy birthday, Melissa. Enjoy the banana pudding over at Slick Pig. Enjoy visiting with the Robinsons and get that free banana pudding to enjoy your birthday. 1920 East Main is where you can find Slick Pig Barbecue for the best barbecue, ribs, wings, of course. They've got all kinds of great grub, let's call it, and desserts. They're homemade. Can't beat it. Slit Pig, 1920 East Main, here in Murfreesboro.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
This is the look from the Rutherford County Courthouse now, where we're coming in with 57 degrees, it looks like. I think we've warmed up a bit. Murfreesboro Airport at 63, 61 at the Smyrna Airport. And we've got some weather to talk about. We have a 1 in 5 level of severe weather possibilities tomorrow, and now a flood watch in effect for us as well. So a lot to talk about. Friday is going to bring about some change in the weather forecast.
For this afternoon, Brian, expecting mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures well above average for this time of year. In fact, approaching record territory, expecting some lower 70s for highs by this afternoon. For later on tonight, as our next frontal boundary begins to approach from the west, we do pick up a chance for some late-night rain showers as lows drop back to 62 degrees, and rain and even some thunderstorms continue Friday, a high of 69. Drying out for the latter half of your weekend. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro.
Thank you, Michael, for the update. Let's check our Rutherford weather radar, and the first thing we've got pulled up here is our severe weather possibilities from the Storm Prediction Center. So this again is a level 1 out of 5. You can see they have removed they've removed all of Tennessee from level 2 out of 5 for severe weather, which we were in yesterday, and a little further south, better dynamics for severe weather. However, that doesn't mean we don't have a chance of severe weather. In fact, we could have a few spin-up tornadoes with the stronger storms. It is the lowest level of chance there. Winds, we have a chance of gusty straight-line winds with storms here in Middle Tennessee as well. But this is going to be our real story. I've pulled up the precipitation models, and the thinking is it's a bit underdone. And this shows that, between 2 a.m. and 9 a.m., we're going to have a lot of rain that has fallen here in Middle Tennessee, almost an inch as a matter of fact. But then we're not done even through the afternoon. This is 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then during the overnight and early morning hours till about 6 a.m., maybe inch and a half. But again, we think that could be underdone here. The areas that are in the deeper purples, that for those of you who can actually see the Rutherford weather radar on Big G TV, those are the areas where we could have the training of storms, and that can lead to some locally higher amounts. So anywhere from 2 to 3 inches is the thinking by the National Weather Service, which is why they have issued a flood watch for us here in Middle Tennessee. And the language that they say, creeks and streams may rise out of their banks, poor drainage areas, and in the urban areas of Middle Tennessee, excessive rainfall between Friday morning and Saturday morning. And the heaviest rain will come Friday night, totals reaching 2 to 3 inches for much of the area, and locally heavier amounts with heavy downpours likely to cause flash flooding. So that's why we have this flood watch in effect for Rutherford County and much of, it goes from Davidson to Williamson, just all around the mid-state here, Wilson County, even Cannon County out toward the Cumberland Plateau and south as well, down in Bedford and Coffee counties and such. So we'll watch the weather for you closely, probably have an update on the Rutherford Weather Channel a bit later on if you want to get more in-depth information about what we could expect tomorrow. The National Weather Service is going to have a briefing today. So once that happens, we'll give you the latest information. We're going to post a video and also put that on wgnsradio.com for you this afternoon. So keeping you updated on the Rutherford Weather Channel. With impactful and severe weather, we've got you covered here from Rutherford Weather. RutherfordWX.com, that's our website. And from there, we have links to the social platforms like YouTube, Facebook, X. We have others, but those are the ones that we primarily concentrate on. So maybe pick YouTube and either Facebook or X. wherever you're most active, because we'll do posts on Facebook and X, and of course, we're live on the channel during impactful and severe weather on YouTube. Check us out, Rutherford Weather, Ruco Weather on those social platforms, or just head to rutherfordwx.com and like, subscribe, turn on notifications, help us grow the Rutherford Weather channel.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
Well, right now, the Dow ticking higher, NASDAQ and also S&P struggling as traders rotate out of tech stocks here this morning. The Dow is up 203 points right now at 49,199. The S&P 500 is off just 5 points, though, at 69.16. The NASDAQ down 147 at 23,437.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
We're checking the latest world news from CBS right now. It's brought to you by Murfreesboro Sinus Center. We're going to check on that world news scene here in just a couple of moments. A reminder that our Big G TV coverage here all morning long, brought to you by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, serving over 20 specialties, several locations across the city, and more than 900 associates dedicated to your health. For quality care that fits your life, choose MMC. MMClinic.com online. MMC now been pretty busy too, of course, with a lot of things going around. With that, let's check that world news on WGNS.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Steve Kathan. New unrest today in Minneapolis as protesters confront ICE agents the day after one shot and killed a woman. CBS's Usher Qureshi says video evidence contradicts the Trump administration take on the shooting.
We're hearing this narrative that she weaponized her vehicle and was going to run over. We even saw that the president himself posting on Truth Social that actually ran over the officer. And so the idea that there are two competing narratives here that are so diametrically opposite is sort of fueling this frustration and this anger that we're hearing from people here.
Well, now to Washington, where CBS's Scott McFarland reports there's a new twist to the Epstein Files story.
Really a growing wave. A group of U.S. senators of both parties, watchdog groups, and some Epstein survivors are asking the U.S. Department of Justice's Inspector General, the internal watchdog, to investigate whether the department is breaking the law by how it's releasing or not releasing the Jeffrey Epstein case files, or if they're selectively, politically releasing them. No response from the agency.
President Trump tells the New York Times the U.S. could stay in control of Venezuela for years. The latest CBS News poll indicates a split over the weekend raid to seize the country's president. Correspondent Charlie Daggett says the U.S. military is now focused on enforcing a sanctioned oil blockade, as evidenced by yesterday's tanker seizures, one of them in the North Atlantic.
U.S. forces had tailed the Marinera, formerly named the Bella One, for weeks, allegedly part of the so-called shadow fleet that carries sanctioned Venezuelan oil around the globe. It had recently re-registered as a Russian vessel, and the Kremlin this week dispatched a submarine to escort it, but U.S. forces arrived first.
Well, gamblers are betting on which target President Trump might strike after Venezuela, as we hear from CBS's Michael Wallace.
Someone made more than $400,000 after placing a wager on Polymarket that Nicolas Maduro would be ousted as Venezuela's leader. Now, gamblers are betting whether the U.S. will strike Colombia this year and whether Iran's supreme leader will be out by June 30th. Critics call betting on potential wars and national security ghoulish and tasteless.
Some suggest the big Maduro bet payoff was a case of insider trading. Latest CDC numbers indicate more than 5,000 flu-related deaths this season and 120,000 hospitalizations. Doctor visits, the highest level in more than 25 years. Many families worried.
This flu, it took everybody out.
The kids, they were hit the worst.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 242 points. This is CBS News.
You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Do your sinus infections always seem to come back no matter what you do? The pressure builds, the headaches drag on, the congestion makes it hard to sleep, hard to focus, hard to feel like yourself. Here's what most people don't actually know. Sinus infections keep coming back because your sinuses can't fully drain. That's why the pressure, the headaches, and the congestion keep coming back time and time again. Balloon sinuplasty gently opens your sinuses in a quick, in-office procedure, so the infections can finally clear. At Murfreesboro Sinus Center, they've helped thousands of patients break free from the sinus infection cycle so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and finally feel like yourself again. Don't wait another season fighting sinus pain. Call Murfreesboro Sinus Center today at 615-649-4590 to see if balloon sinuplasty is right for you. Call 615-649-4590. That's 615-649-4590.
In retirement, it's all about income. Your money, making money, and you're not spending down your principal. That's the way we do it at Retirement Income Solutions. So if you're spending down your principal or your money's not making money, keeping you ahead of inflation, check us out today at risolutions.net. risolutions.net. And make sure to join us Saturdays at noon and Sunday afternoons at 1 for Retirement Income Solutions Radio with Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter.
SRM Concrete is the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet is still family-owned and operated. Locally grown, nationally known, SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. You call, we haul. We're SRM Concrete.
Craig Buckner with Mills Family Pharmacy.
Many medications for our animals have to be compounded, and we offer that here at Mills Family Pharmacy.
Mills Family Pharmacy offers a wide range of compounding.
Special for you, your loved ones, or for your pets.
Learn more at millsfamilypharmacy.com.
Thank you for allowing us to be your local pharmacy. We're at 2994 South Church Street, next to Toots.
Mills Family Pharmacy, dedicated to providing customers with services to meet their needs.
This is News Radio WGNS Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
Well, coming up on WGNS tonight, we've got lots of Lady Raider and Raider hoops for you. The Lady Raiders are at home, and they'll take on Texas El Paso. UTEP coming in to the Murphy Center. Greg Pogue will have your pregame at 6 with a 6:30 tip in the women's game. The men's game will follow. Their tip isn't until 8:30, so we'll get a good half of that at least with Chip Walters from Texas, El Paso, Texas, tonight. So that's on WGNS this evening. Tomorrow, Bill Hockenberry will join me as we head over to Riverdale as the Warriors and the Patriots play. It's the first game of district play. Can you believe that? District play tomorrow night begins. Oakland-Riverdale be on WGNS beginning at 5:45, right after a brand new Friday show called Blue Raider Podcast. Jake Bolden has been doing a podcast about the Blue Raiders for quite a while, and he's going to join us and take the Friday sports slot on Fridays here on WGNS and on his Blue Raider podcast YouTube channel. So that's on Friday And that's tomorrow, the debut of that here on WGNS, but not new to the Blue Raider sports fans. Coming up on Saturday, we've got your Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner returning, 9 o'clock. MTCS Cougar Corner will be on at 11:15. We'll have a tight show because at 11:30 tomorrow, we'll have the Lady Raiders and New Mexico State. I say tomorrow, that's Saturday. And the men will play Saturday evening. So we've got all of that for you here on WGNS. So MTSU, check. Preps, check. We've got you covered. Basketball tomorrow night, Oakland Riverdale. Girls, boys, Bill Hockenberry and I will have the action for you. Then Saturday morning, it's myself, John Dinkins, and Danny Brewer to bring you the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner with Cougar Corner at 11:15. That's the latest local sports. We're going to check your statewide scene right now. Then Fox Sports looks around the country.
Access Tennessee Sports. I'm Josh Copley. Number 11 Vanderbilt men's basketball would remain undefeated, toppling number 13 Alabama at home inside Memorial Gymnasium 96-90. The Brentwood native sophomore Tyler Tanner would have a stellar game for the Commodores, putting up a game-high 29 points. Vandy senior Devin McLaughlin would record a double-double as well with 10 points and 12 rebounds. Coming off their huge win over the Spurs, the Memphis Grizzlies would fall to the Phoenix Suns 117-98. Jaren Jackson Jr. would be the leading scorer for Memphis with 19 points, but the story of the game would be former Grizzly Dylan Brooks leading the Suns to victory with 21 points. In a surprise twist, former Tennessee football player Boo Carter visited Vanderbilt on Wednesday, as reported by On3. Carter was a safety and returner for the Vols, but his attitude would be the main cause of the separation and why he's currently in the transfer portal. I'm Josh Copley with Access Tennessee Sports.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Martin Weiss.
2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The San Antonio Spurs lead the Lakers 107-91. Victor Wembanyama playing in this game. Not playing a ton of minutes, but he got 16 points and 14 rebounds. Luka Doncic with a 38-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double. Earlier tonight, we saw the Atlanta Hawks trade four-time All-Star Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. The Hawks were in action today, beating the New Orleans Pelicans 117-100. Zachary Richaud had 25 points and 8 rebounds. Magic beat the Nets in overtime 104-103 with Paolo Banchero, 30 points, 14 rebounds, including a bank shot to seal the game. Knicks over Clippers 123-111. Jalen Brunson 26 and 7. Thunder in overtime over the Jazz 129-125. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 46, 6 and 6.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit RecycleRightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you.
Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Recycling isn't just about tossing materials in a bin, it's about knowing which materials are accepted. Go to RecycleRightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
Where is the best barbecue in town? At 1920 East Main. The best barbecue for miles around is in 1920 East Main. You can buy it by the pound, sandwich, platter, or plate. No matter what you choose, it will taste great. You can come with a friend, by yourself, or with a date. Just Lick Pig Barbecue. Barbecue pork, beef, or chicken, Brunswick stew, great sides, lunch specials, down-home atmosphere, and they cater. Slick Pig Barbecue, it's the best.
2 powerful FM signals, 1 AM signal, and worldwide on wgnsradio.com. You can listen to us anywhere. We are WGNS Murfreesboro.
WGNS. This is Peter Demas, and here is this week's Demas's Emergency Responder of the Week.
Murfreesboro police officer and SRO Cole Glass was on a bike patrol when he noticed a child struggling with a broken bike chain. The boy, visibly frustrated, told Glass the chain came off. Without hesitation, Glass knelt and fixed it, and the moment became a small but powerful reminder of the heart behind the badge. Murfreesboro police officer Cole Glass's response exemplifies the kind of everyday heroism that often goes unnoticed. A willingness to pause engage, and uplift a neighbor in need.
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the emergency responder of the week.
Access Tennessee News. I'm Will Dudley. A key summer food assistance program that helps families bridge the gap when school cafeterias close could soon be again off the table in Tennessee. WZTV reports the U.S. Department of Agriculture says that Tennessee has not submitted an application for the summer EBT program ahead of the January 1st early deadline, raising questions about whether the state will participate in the appropriations and falsely claimed to be associated with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. In these fraudulent calls, scammers pose as deputies and falsely accuse the recipient of failing to appear for jury duty, or they have unpaid traffic citations or even have official documents to serve the individual. Authorities say they will never make such calls.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
Memphis honoring the King this week during what would have been Elvis's 91st birthday. Graceland is hosting the celebrations, with most of them happening today. A new exhibition honors the 70th anniversary of 1956, which was a landmark year in Elvis's life and career. Organizers note that it's been 70 years since Elvis recorded his first album that had his first gold record on RCA. A special birthday proclamation ceremony happens today on the front lawn of Graceland. Will Dudley, Access Tennessee News.
I've got pests, bees, buzzing, rodents running all through my house, ants chewing wood, and look, there's a mouse. I'm overrun with pests, but you're gonna be sure, safe and secure. It's the last rites for those pests. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests.
893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated. Call us today. 893-7111.
FM 1019, FM 100.5, WGNSradio.com. The Good Neighbor Network.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
We're back on Rutherford Issues, and our program today is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. When we get some cooler weather, hey, and it's on the way. The week of, middle of next week, middle to end of next week, I think we're going to get some cooler weather, so may have to have that fireplace going. Of course, the coffee every morning. New calendars are on the wall as well as we bring in a new year. And Middle Tennessee Electric keeps fresh starts feeling warm and bright. That's Middle Tennessee Electric powering Rutherford Issues today. State Representative Mike Sparks joins me here in studio this morning. You said you were working out. Is this a New Year's resolution?
People don't know the other side of you. He's kind of got a little bit of a sense of humor. So I come on, and I'm huffing and puffing. And you're like, yeah, you've been working out. So no, I just took the steps up here, man. Them steps are a monster, ain't they?
Well, your text was, I'm leaving Crunch, and that was at like 10:27. So I have no idea whether it was a Nestle's Crunch or...
I did go to Crunch Fitness. And a beautiful atmosphere. I do have some 7-day passes. Anybody wants any. But, I really like the place. It's just today there really wasn't many people there. I tried to get done what I could.
You wrote Nestle's on it, though.
I do like Nestle Crunch, too. And the Heath bars and the paydays.
But then he's huffing and puffing coming up here, and it's like...
Hey, them steps, they're a monster, man.
They're an interesting every morning.
My intern, Jacob Hagel, he come on Sunday night with us. He's in a wheelchair, but he's got the hand walkers, and he come up them steps, man.
Well, what excuse do you have?
Well, exactly. Mr. Charles Jones, 95-year-old Charles Jones, I often tell Roger, 95-year-old Charles Jones with his cane passed Roger Thomas walking up steps. He's like, "Get out of my way, young man."
Well, it is Roger.
So, and anyways, sadly, Mr. Jones, he was going to be our speaker at the Sam Davis home. He fell, broke his hip the night before the event. So we had Toby Francis fill in, and Pettis Reed came, Mary Watkins, President of African American Heritage Society, Pastor Vincent Windrow, Gary LaFew wrote a book about Smyrna, Paul Lamb playing his band. We just had a great time. I told you Mr. Jones said he's willing to put up $2 million if we can bring a park to Old Jefferson. So I want him to. I had a T-Deck official there.
So you're coming up with the rest of it?
Well, I'm hoping Mary Esther Reed can, if she's listening.
Oh.
No, but
State doesn't have any money.
Hey, this year we're not. It's going to be a tight budget this year. At least that's what I'm hearing. But Mr. Jones, he talks about a thing called benevolent capitalism. And he's got this idea, which I think is awesome, to help with workforce housing, teachers, police officers, firefighters, EMS, and other vital services, where he'd put the money up to help with an apartment complex. And after 5 years, whoever leased that would walk away with a check, like a $8,000, $10,000. I don't know if it's ever worked, but this guy's a real deal. He owns the Milky Way Farm, owned Hickory Hollow, owns part of Rivergate Mall. But, he has that wisdom that we've kind of forgotten in this country, I think. And but he's telling me, what he'll do. And he's done this before because he bought the house from us for Brenda Bryant, the pastor. And she paid $140 for it. It was my son's home. I just happened to be talking to her, happened to mention we're going to sell the house. It had to be a God thing because it's the only person I told. And she said, "Mike, I'm looking for something." She bought it for $140, or he did. She closed it out last year. It appraised at $350. All that equity was hers. So this guy's got a proven track record. I've witnessed it, and the Lord was involved in that whole deal.
Well, I see you have a book. You just carry it around, or do you read it?
I like the title. You want to say what the title is?
Spark.
Spark. I happen to find that thing at Goodwill. It's a place that sells used clothes and books. You've probably never been there.
No, I don't go to.
And I look for deals. This is a book.
I try to support local, like Greenhouse Ministries and Garden Patch
and Cliffs. Great people. But this book is talking about how exercise can help the human brain and help with children's learning. And I just seen it this morning. I thought I'm gonna carry this thing. At least try to read a chapter before my day's done.
That may be the only heavy lifting you do today.
It is. Well, I can't lift like I used to, man. I've tried. I can't do it.
The session's going to gavel in next week?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
You've already said it. What's happened to all the state's money? Have we blown it on things and we don't have enough left now?
Well, budget's going to be a little tight, and that's what I'm hearing anyways. And, I was fortunate to give God the glory for it. We were able to get that $250,000 grant for Cemetery School to restore the old African-American school on Nashville Highway, which is a miracle. The original desks are still there. It's a cool story. The odds of me getting another grant or getting another what I call First Amendment tax cut or Second Amendment tax cut is going to be hard pressed to try to do it.
Why do we think that there is going to be a tight budget this year?
Just the revenues aren't there. And
really,
Charlie, Dr. Baum is the he's the math guru, economics professor.
You said he was the bomb.
He is the bomb. I would say something, but we got to be careful on the radio.
You
here.
need to.
Anyways, it's a quote from the show The Office. Anyways, Charlie is just a great guy, and I just don't think. I'm on finance. We've allocated more troopers. That's millions of dollars when you get. Roughly 200 more troopers on the highways and byways of Tennessee. Invest in education. I know the education scholarship, what some call vouchers, is going to be a priority for the governor. Not sure if the monies are there. Not even sure if the votes are there. I have my concerns about it, and I'm off about school choice. But
you would think that he is going to be very keyed in, looking for that signature piece of legislation in his last year.
Well, I'd argue he's already accomplished it. This is the thing about it. I'm not a budget guru like Dr. Baum is, but we only have a small pot of money, I mean, it's a lot it's billions of dollars, but if you think, well, that's just 2% of the budget, that's a significant amount of money. But this country, like I said at the AFP meeting the other night, and we had a great crowd. I mean, diverse crowd, school board members there, Commissioner Rick Hall, Phil Dodd, and Romel McMurray, and several others were there. But this county has a lot of challenges with this growth. It's unprecedented. $400 million new jail, schools that are overcrowded. I mean, roads that are congested. It took me an hour and a half to come home last night. Seen three or four accidents there. They're going to say crime's lower in Nashville. I'm going to argue it's higher. There's 2 people been murdered right there on I-24. And if people don't think that crime's, if it's not an issue, go tell that to the parents of that young Noah and the other young man that was killed. I've seen the craziness in Nashville driving from Laverne to Antioch, and when I was giving that nurse a ride. It's a different day today, man. The challenges are unique, but that's why I argue people have to work together, man. These issues, they're not really Democrat, Republican. They're not black or white or rich or poor or Democrat or, conservative or liberal. I mean, we've got to start working together. And that's what I said at the meeting the other night, and apologize for using profanity to people that were there, but I just see the trivial stuff that people are fighting over. In this county. I'm not talking about Nashville. Yeah. Locally, sometimes it's worse locally than it's in Nashville.
I want to. What do you think the governor's signature piece of legislation, or what will he be known for, Governor Lee?
I think for him, it's probably the Education Freedom Scholarship is what I think he'd argue, because I think he came in on that. I was a little disappointed with the governor, recently, and I like the guy. I'm sure somebody's going to send him this clip, but I asked him to veto the predatory lending bill where they increase interest rates, and and he didn't want to do it. He was shocked that I approached him, and he said, "Sparks, why does this matter?" I said, "Man, we just made a decision that's going to impact the generation and the next generation. This is not." You could argue school choice, you could argue choice lanes, but when you raise interest rates and these predatory lenders, their ultimate goal is to take people's cars. That person loses their car, then they lose their job. It's a cycle. Then all of a sudden the kids are affected. Then the kids are on reduced lunch rate. Then there's mental health issues. Then they lose their home. This is not on people's radars. And, man, we've got to get – the county commission needs to take a stand. School board needs to take a stand. NAACP needs to take a stand. The GOP needs to take a stand. Here's the problem. No one's taking a stand. And he could have took a stand. And I like the governor, but I told him, I said, because I had that fatherless mentorship bill, and my dad stayed on me to stay out of debt. And I said, the only reason you're governor is because you had a father in your life. He kind of looked at me he said, well, you think about it, you're probably right. I said, I had a father that drilled like a World War II. He was in World War II, like a drill sergeant, stay out of debt. And when we have a community that kids can't even afford to live here, a police officer can't afford to buy a home, a teacher can't afford to buy a home, people need to get fired up and ask your leaders, what are you doing? Why did my cousin lose her car and get repoed? Why did that happen? Because it's like that lady, Miss Helen. Y'all can watch the video, go to YouTube, type in Miss Helen predatory lending, and that Tennessee title pawn over at Jackson Heights lured her in, 11%. Act like it was 11%. You know how much it was? 132%. It's 11% a month. His ultimate goal was to take the car. The repo man was already calling this woman. She's African-American. Not that it matters, but hey, NAACP, get involved in this stuff. They were trying to take her car. The repo guy, Dale something, don't know his last name, was even texting her. I told that guy, I said, you realize she has a special needs sister in the car, probably 60-something years old, special needs, battling breast cancer. She later died. This is how much these people are a piece of crap. And we're silent today. Now, they can come at me all they want with their millions or billions of dollars, but it sickens me. And you watch that video, folks, Miss Helen, predatory lending, and it's just your pastors are silent.
Well, the first thing that happened was it passed both chambers.
Yeah, they're both in on the deal, man. They're all in on it. It's just, it really is corruption. Now, they're going to get mad at me for saying that, but hey, I've had all that stuff come against me. I've had a governor who's a billionaire come against me. Hey, because I called out JLL, called the Commissioner of Education to resign, but so did 66 school superintendents. How do you get 66 school superintendents to agree on an issue? But they said that dude wasn't qualified. He needed to go. So several of us conservatives signed a letter. About 9, 10 of us said, man, that dude needs to go. We listened to our school superintendents. Next thing you know, there's $1 million spent against us. $1 million. Now, it's kind of, looking back, it's funny because they didn't win. They didn't bump off nobody. We all held on, but it was funny. Me and my wife sitting there watching TV, and I mean, I was already in a race, and all of a sudden these TV commercials are like, Mike Sparks voted for 14 tax increases. I mean, I'm the tightest guy up there. I mean, you know how long I've been using this Core water bottle?
You found it on the side of the
For
road
like a
and
month,
started
man.
putting water in it.
Anyways, I really worry about our country with $38.5 trillion in debt and growing. I'm worried. And when you have grandkids like you do now, when you have grandkids, a switch in your mind, you start looking at life. Instead of being about me, material things, you start looking about the grandbabies. What's the future going to be like? Can they afford a home? Are they going to go, what's public school be like? Is crime going to be worse than it is now,
Let me ask you this, because I know this is one thing that has been talked about, and if the budget is tight, I would say that this probably has no chance of happening, but actually eliminating the grocery tax, that's probably not going to happen, is it?
I wish I could tell you the politically correct answer would be, oh, yeah, it sounds great, Brian, but in reality, I don't think it's going to happen because you got to take it from somewhere. If you're going to cut that, then you're going to have to raise it somewhere else. I mean, just even my gun safe bill, cutting tax off gun safes, that had I think $1 million fiscal note a year, but it improved gun safe sales. It encouraged people to lock up their firearms. And in fact, my office is real proud of my assistant. I had him call Department of Safety. If anybody needs a pistol lock, we've got Department of Safety is sending over 100 locks. So if anybody wants one, I can leave them up here at the station. It may take a few days to get up there, but you got to take the money from somewhere. I had a budget amendment a few years back trying to cut tax off fresh fruit and vegetables that are homegrown Tennessee, which I thought, people could eat healthier and it's helping local farmers. But even that had a significant, fiscal note, and something like that would be much more palatable to get passed. But you got to take them somewhere,
So what are the big issues? I mean, if the budget's going to be tight, I would think that, that's going to lead the conversation,
Oh, yeah. Well, it even led the other night with AFP, and thank you for Tori Venable and Nick, Pamela Furr, and Hannah for helping put that on. But even they, brought up the budget along with Chairman Don White of Education and Shane Reeves and Tim Rudd and Dr. Brian Terry as well, because we all have to be concerned with the budget, just like the County Commission has to be concerned with their budget and the school board as well. But that's why people need to work together, man. These challenges, they're unprecedented. I'd argue they're worse today than they were 10 years ago or 20 years ago. We always dealt with growth, but not at the level that we're dealing with today.
Well, we need, a $60, $70, $80 million jail to...
No, 400. That dude is 400, man.
400 million? Okay. Well, then you add on top of that the need for a couple of high schools and all this kind of stuff. So,
yes, I called the school board this morning. I've got a TASER study that I'm it's sometimes I've run 2 TASER studies. It's hard to get them done. One on affordable housing. Taxpayer-funded lobbyists tried to work against me. That's the times we're in, folks. Think about this. I said this at the meeting of the night. Taxpayer-funded lobbyists tried to block my affordable housing study. Had another TASER study, and that TASER study, it's online if folks want to look at it. Just Google Mike Sparks, affordable housing, TACIR, and it's a 139-page document. But that's the times we're in. The other challenges, I think, mental health. I had that gentleman on the radio with me a few months ago. He found his daughter hung in her closet. She was 14 years old. And I ran that bill about the anxious generation, about teen and adolescent mental health, and especially suicide among females. That's unprecedented. And it's like, how do you legislate your way out of those problems? One, I think, is bring awareness. It's like I quoted Proverbs, there's wisdom in the multitude of counselors. There's not wisdom in one or two lobbyists. There's wisdom in the multitude of counselors. But that's why I just want to encourage folks to work together to try to solve some of these problems.
Well, sounds like going to have your hands full, and I'm sure we're going to try to finish in like 4 weeks, right? I mean,
Well,
that's
it's
usually
election season.
Yeah.
It does.
It's going to end early this time.
It does end a little early.
It's always election season.
But you know, one thing, if I could say real quick, I met with the Consulate General of Japan recently. Had lunch with them. Sweet folks about Trump tariffs, and I'm really concerned about Nissan, and I think we need to pray for Nissan. And I see mixed signals, but that plant when they came here, I think Smyrna and Datsun and Nissan, I think we have the best story to tell in the nation of how there's reconciliation between the two countries. Seward Air Force Base, where I was born, where my dad served, where Major Walls served, that was a World War II training base, and here the two countries come together. So I proposed to them a film, a documentary. Reach out to MTSU, reach out to the Film Commission. Bob Raines likes the idea, maybe putting in for a budget request on that. Just to get the conversation started of folks working together. Because if we wouldn't have worked together with Japan, obviously Nissan and the 200 other companies that we trade with that are based in Tennessee here wouldn't be here today if we wouldn't have came together.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, man. Don't forget Conversations with Mike Sparks on Sunday nights, 5 o'clock here on WGNS. That's going to do it for our show today. And until next time, take care out there.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served.
Subscribe to Big G TV. Local content that matters to Rutherford County.